Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, welcome to our virtual session of week 2 of IT project management course. If you can hear me properly, please raise your hand. Okay, good. Okay, so we talked about introduction to project management in our face-to-face class. So do you have any question about it? I'm just going to go through the slides, and if you have any question, just stop me on that slide. Okay, we were here. I'm going to continue from here quickly, and then I'll move to chapter 2. Okay, so I told you, so we were here. I told you that in project management framework there are 9 knowledge areas. 4 of them are core knowledge areas, and 4 are some facilitating functions, which are called facilitating knowledge areas. And when we combine all these 8, this result knowledge area, which is called project integration management. So if you are using all these knowledge areas correctly, it leads to success of your project. Project stakeholders are the people who are involved in and is affected by project activities. So any person who gets affected to the success or failure of project is the stakeholder in that. Stakeholders means project sponsor, managers, team members, the support staff, the customers, the users, the suppliers, and the opponents to the project as well, because if your project gets failed, they are affected, and if it gets succeeded, they are affected too. So if we take an overview of these knowledge areas basically describe the key competencies that a project manager must develop. 4 core knowledge areas lead to specific project objectives like scope, time, quality, and cost. So facilitating knowledge areas are means through which the project objectives are achieved, and these facilitating are human resources, communication, risk, and procurement. And one knowledge area, which is project integration management, affects and is affected by all the other knowledge areas, and all of them are very important. When we say project management tools and techniques, these help project managers and their teams to manage projects successfully, and some specific ones, some tools and techniques for project management are project charter, scope statement, WBS, which stands for work breakdown structure, which you make when you manage your scope, Gantt charts, which help you develop your schedule, network diagrams, which help you perform all the critical tasks in your project in a timely way, in a timely fashion. Then critical path analysis. First you identify the critical path. The critical path in the network diagram is the one where all the activities are critical, and if you delay any one activity on that path, the whole project duration gets delayed. And then to manage time effectively, you perform critical change scheduling. So these are all the some of the project management tools and techniques which are accepted, which are considered or which are used by different project managers, and some sort of, you can say that these are standards, and when every person who is managing projects is familiar with this. And cost estimates and earned value management is when you do cost management. So these are the techniques. Then super tools are those tools that have high use and high potential for improving project success. For example, if you want to perform task scheduling, you use software, and then scope statements, requirements analysis, lesson learned reports. These are super tools. Like if you are going to develop your project more effectively, you can use these tools, which will help you out a lot. Tools already extensively used that have been found to improve project importance include progress reports. So these are some of the tools which you should use in your project to make it successful. Kickoff meetings, Gantt charts, change requests. So these are some of the documents, some of the tools, some of the techniques which you can use, which you should make in the project to make it successful. The Standish Group Chaos studies show improvements in IT projects in the past decade. The number of successful IT projects has more than doubled from 16% in 1994 to 35% in 2006. So if you now, since we have started studying these knowledge areas and we have started using these different tools and techniques in management of projects, so it is leading to success of projects and it is helping the project managers a lot. The reasons for the increase in successful projects vary. First, the average cost of a project has been more than cut in half. Better tools are created to monitor and control progress. So previously there was no tool available for management of IT projects, and it was all done manually, and everything was dependent on the project management experience, and they were doing hit and trials, and the failure rate was quite high. Now the success rate has improved, and it has increased because now we have better tools which are helping project managers and making them more skilled. So the fact that their process is significant in itself. There are several ways to define project success. So if we say my project is success, there are different ways in which you consider project success. If a project meets scope, time and cost goals, you can say it's a success. The project satisfied the customer, even if it is not meeting the scope, not meeting not meeting the time, or not meeting the cost goals. The cost is increased, or the time has increased, or the scope is reduced or increased. If it is satisfying your customer or sponsor, you call it a success. Another criteria is the results of the project met its main objective, such as making or saving a certain amount of money, providing a good return on investment, or simply making the sponsors happy. So these are different criteria for to measure the project success. These are some top 10 we can say factors which helped project manager to develop successful projects, and these are the statistics reported in 2001. Now, and on number 1, the executive support. If you have executive support with you, it will make your project successful. So they consider it a very important factor. So what is executive support? Can any one of you tell me what is executive support? Executive support means the top management of your organization, like the boss of your company, or the executives in your organizations. So if they are supportive for you, then you are going to take this. You can take decisions very quickly and effectively. So it helps you out. Then the involvement of users is also very important. If you have kept your users involved in all the development phases, in all the phases of project, then the user knows each and everything, and their chances are less that user will be unhappy about anything. Number 3 is experienced project manager. So if there is experienced project manager, the chances of success are high. If you have clear business objectives, if you have minimized scope, if you are using standard software infrastructure, or if you have collected requirements very carefully and you have fixed them. Firm means fixed basic requirements. or you are using some formal project management methodology, or you have made estimates for time, cost, and other estimates very accurately, so chances of success are high. Other criteria such as small milestones, you have done proper planning, or you have used competent staff and ownership, it falls on number 10. So these are the top 10 factors which make your project successful. Recent research findings show that companies that excel in project delivery capability use an integrated project management toolbox. They are using certain tools for project management which is integrated. They grow project leaders emphasizing business and soft skills, and develop a streamlined project delivery process and measure project health using some metrics. They use some measures to measure the health of projects like customer satisfaction or return on investment. Now, program and project portfolio management. Program is a group of related projects managed in a coordinated way to obtain benefits and control not available from managing them individually. So we talked about program manager and project manager. So program is a group of related projects. Program manager provides leadership and direction for the project managers heading the projects within the program. Examples of common programs in the IT field include infrastructure, application development, and user support. So these are the different programs. As part of project portfolio management, organization groups and manage projects and programs as a portfolio of investment that contribute to the entire enterprise success. So this is project management compared to project portfolio management. So in the case of project management, we ask these questions: are we carrying out projects well? Are projects on time and on budget? Do project stakeholders know what they should be doing? And in case of portfolio management, are we working on the right project? Are we investigating the right areas? Do we have the right resources to be competitive? So these are the questions you ask when you are doing project management, and these are the questions which you ask you when you are doing project portfolio management. So are we carrying out projects well? It means you know that you are doing this project and you want to assess that whether you are doing it well or not. And here we ask question: are we working on the right projects? So as an organization, should we develop these projects, or you can opt for some other project? So because we are interested in our increased return on investment, we are interested in best utilization of your resources. So are we working on the right project? Have we selected the right project to work on? Now there is another thing which is important, is best practice. It means an optimal way recognized by industry to achieve a stated goal or objective. So in an industry where multiple people are working and they think that this way, a certain way of working or certain way of doing anything is very good and is very effective, so we call it a best practice. Robert Frotrick suggests that organizations need to follow basic principles of project management, including these two mentioned earlier in this chapter. Number 1, make sure your projects are driven by your strategy. Number 2, engage your stakeholders. If you are ignoring your stakeholders, it leads to project failure. So be sure to engage all stakeholders. So remember now that what stakeholders? Stakeholders means your sponsor, your customers, your team members, your support staff, and everyone. So if they are engaged, they are involved, so it will lead to the success of projects, and you can have their commitments. You can encourage teamwork in this way. This is sample project portfolio approach. Now here you can see overall project portfolio categories. This is HR, human resource, this is IT, this is materials, this is marketing. So IT project portfolio categories are like ventures or growth or core. So the core are to run the business. This is have non-discretionary costs. And if you are going for projects to grow the business or to transform the business, so such type of projects are growth projects or ventures. So ventures are totally new for the organizations, and if your organization has already done something but it's going to improve it, it means to grow the business. So the value and timings are shown here, and the risk increases when you move from core to ventures, and it has discretionary costs involved. Sample project portfolio management screen showing project health. So here you can see this is a plan view, or it's project portfolio management screen. Work ID, the title of project, the status, 100% complete, 75% complete, 97% complete. Schedule variance, how much it is varying from the schedule. It is behind the schedule or it is ahead the schedule. Cost variance, how much cost is changed. Budget variance, risk, and cost variance. When you talk about cost variance, then project count, how it on target, at risk, or in trouble. So this is the sample project portfolio. Suggested skills for project managers. Project managers need to have a variety of skills. They should be comfortable with change. If a project manager is resistant to change, it is not considered at good skill, because in every project, change happens at a later stages. So which change project manager should accept and which he should not accept. So if the project manager is open to change, then it will make your user and customer have more confidence in your project and make them happy. And because we have seen that happiness is also considered one of the factors to measure the success of your project. But if the project manager is resistant to change, every time the customer is asking for change, the project manager is not comfortable with that, or is asking to make the requirement fixed. So this is unrealistic, because the requirements are changes are a necessary part of your project. Understand the organizations they work in and with. So they should understand the organization where they are working, or with the organization with they are working. Be able to lead teams to accomplish project tasks. So leadership skill is also very important for a project manager, and they should have skills to lead teams. So it's leading, because teams are working on projects, so he should have leadership skills so that he can manage that group of people and accomplish projects. So he should be able to use their energies, resources for the success of projects. Job description of project managers vary, but most include responsibilities like planning, scheduling, coordinating, and working with people to achieve project goals. So this is the general job description of a project manager, but he has to plan the work, he has to schedule the work, that when and how and whom will be doing on which thing, and he needs to coordinate among all of them, and he needs to work with the people to achieve project goals. So only if making the plan is not project management, it means to actively work with those people. Remember that 97% of the successful projects were led by experienced project managers who can often help influence success factors. So successful projects are having 97% of them were managed by experienced project managers. The project manager should go for project management body of knowledge and should apply the areas, should use the areas to do all the things specified in those areas to make it a success. Should know about application area knowledge, standards and regulations, should have project environment knowledge, general management knowledge and skills, and should have some soft skills and human relations skills. So there are two types of skills, hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are also called sometimes technical skills. Like if you are a programmer and you know the technical details, you know the programming language, you know how to make, you have a degree with you, and you have experience of it as well, and you know how you can use the tool and you can do work on that. These are the technical skills or hard skills. The soft skills are the ones such as your communication skills, your leadership skills, your negotiation skills. So all these are soft skills. So it is very also important for project manager to have good soft skills. So if a project manager is technically good, have hard skills, so he cannot be successful unless he have some good soft skills as well, because he has to manage group of people and have to make them work together. So to make them work together, it is good that he have soft skills so that he can manage them in case of any conflict or in case of any problem which occurs in that, and can motivate them and use them. So we'll be talking about this in more detail when we'll be studying human resource management. Top 10 important skills and competencies for project manager. The topmost is people skills. That he should understand people, he should know how to work with the people, he should be able to understand all the expectations, needs, and duties and details about the people. And the second is leadership. The third is listening skill. So the project managers are doing many things, and they have to manage project and have to develop it according to scope, within cost, and within the time, and as per the customer requirement and quality, to have to achieve quality as well. And he cannot work on his own on all the things. He has to take work from people. So when he's managing people, he gives them instructions, tell them deadlines with how they have to work. But here I'm saying that the project manager, in the top 10 list, on number 3 is the listening skill. That project manager should be a good listener. Number 4 is integrity, ethical behavior, consistent. Number 5, strong at building trust. 6, should have good verbal communication, not written communication. Here we are mentioning verbal communication. 7 is strong at building teams. Number 8, conflict resolution. If some conflict arises with the customer or among your team members or with another stakeholder, so that he needs to manage that conflict and you need to resolve that. So conflict resolution and management skill is also very important. Then he should have some critical thinking and problem solving skill as well. And he should be able to understand and balance priorities, like which things at one instance of time, which things are more important than the others, or which tasks are more important. So to prioritize is also one of the competencies we want in a project manager. Different skills are required in different situations. Like in large projects, some other skills are required. In smaller projects, different skills are required. In large projects, leadership, relevant prior experience, planning, people skills, verbal communication, and team building skills are more important. In high uncertainty projects, risk management, expectation management, leadership, people skill, and planning skills are most important. And in very novel projects, very simple projects, just leadership skills, people skills, having vision and goals, self-confidence, expectation management, and listening skills are most important. Effective project managers provide leadership by example. A leader focuses on long-term goals and big picture objectives while inspiring people to reach these goals. So the project manager should be a leader, where the other team members should inspire to be project managers. A manager deals with the day-to-day details of meeting specific goals. Project managers often take on the role of both leader and manager. So you have to be a leader and you have to be a manager. You should be aware about the day-to-day details of meetings, how much work is done, and you have to focus on the long-term goals as well, and you have to look at the big picture objectives as well. In 2006 survey by CIO.com, IT executives ranked the skills that would be the most in demand in the next 2 to 5 years. Project and program management topped the list. Top IT skills are project management, business process management, business analyst, application development, database management, security. So here you can see that project management, program management is at the top. The profession of project management is growing at a very rapid pace. It is helpful to understand the history of the field, the role of professional societies like the Project Management Institute, which is called PMI, and the growth in project management software. So as the profession is growing, so are the societies and tools and softwares are increasing. Some people argue that building the Egyptian pyramid was a project and was the building the Great Wall of China. Most people consider the Manhattan Project to be the first project to use modern project management. This 3-year, $2 billion project had a separate project manager and a technical manager. This is the Gantt chart which you make when you develop schedule. You specify all the activities over here and you specify the dates over here, December, January, February, March, and then you develop schedule. Now these bars are just indicating that from which date to which date we will be working on which activity. And this is the schedule, which is the activities are listed here and the dates are listed here. This is a sample made for project 2007. This is the network diagram which is made in Microsoft Project, where you specify activities, their start date and end date, their IDs, their duration, and the resources they require. And these arrows are actually saying that activity A will be performed before D, and when D will finish, then H can start. Similarly, when D will finish, then E can start. When E will finish, then H can start. So this is a network diagram showing the dependencies between different objects, their duration, their start and finish date. This is the network diagram which we'll be making when we'll be developing the schedule. The Project Management Institute is an international professional society for project managers founded in 1969. It has continued to attract and retain members, and there are specific interest groups in many areas like engineering, financial services, etc. And students can join PMI at a reduced fee, and you can join PMI, and you have to get certification. So you sometimes go for certifications of PMI, and project they let you get those certification after passing some exam. This PMP certification for project management professionals. PMP has documented sufficient project experience, agreed to follow a code of ethics, and passed the PMP exam. The number of people earning PMP certification is increasing quickly, and they have now additional certification programs as well. So here you can see that growth in PMP certification since 1993 to 2008 is like this. In 1993, very few people had the certification, and now you can see in 2008, the number of people who are getting this certification is increasing, and you can also go for it after completing this course. You can opt for passing the PMP exam. So if you pass the exam, then you will be project management professional, and you can manage projects. Ethics, loosely defined, is a set of principles that guide our decision making based on personal values of what is right and wrong. So ethics tell you what is right and wrong. Project managers often face ethical dilemmas. In order to earn PMP certifications, applicants must agree to PMI's Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, and there are certain questions in PMP exam as well about ethics. There are hundreds of different products available to assist project managers. You have to choose that which kind of tool or software you are going to use. There are some of the tools mentioned over here, so you can use them. This is chapter summary. Of course, we define the project. That project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or service. Project management is an application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. A program is a group of related projects managed in a coordinated way. Project portfolio management, we talked about this. And then we said that project managers play a key role in helping projects and organizations succeed, and they should have some necessary skills. We talk about some of the top 10 skills which project managers should have. And the project management profession continues to grow and mature with the passage of time, and now people are opting to have more project management certifications. Okay, so that's all from my side for this week. If you have any questions about anything, please raise your hand. Any questions from the slides I just explained? Yes, Munira, please, you can type in your message. Munira, are you talking about this? Strategic? Okay, let's go to slide 9. Yes. Which thing is not clear in this slide, Munira? It's not strategic is not mentioned over here. Okay, so these are some of the top strategic technologies for 2008 which are mentioned. Like, you can use these technologies to manage your projects, and these are the technologies which are mentioned for 2008, like 390, unified communication, business process modeling. You can use virtualization, or you can use social software. So these are names of some of the technologies. You don't need to go through in the detail of these technologies. You just need to remember their names, that these are some of the technologies. If you want to know more details about them, you can read the book or search the web about it. But these are some of the strategic technologies which you are, because we, previously in the previous slides, the author has given examples of some IT projects. So these are some of the IT projects. And then it is giving you some top strategic technologies for 2008. So these are some of the technologies. So it means for management of IT projects is important because the new technologies are coming in. So when you say technology, it means you have to develop a project to deliver that technology. You don't need to go into details of these technologies. You just need to remember that these are new technologies which are coming up, and we are delivering technologies. Because we are developing projects. For example, if you say that, for example, there was no Facebook. Like if you go back to 10 years ago, Facebook was not there, but somebody developed Facebook, and somebody delivered this software. So this software came up. So it was an IT project. Different people worked on it and then delivered it successfully, and now we are using it. So whenever we want to upgrade ourselves to new technology, or we want to grow, we go for new technology, and new technology gets developed after a new project is developed. Okay, so these are some of the new technologies. You can add more in this list, but this is just top strategic technologies list. Okay, good. So then the next question was from, I'll mark attendance later because you people are joining in and leaving and then coming in. So I'll mark your attendance at the end of the session. If you have joined your session and have attended, so you are marked as present. Okay. I'll tell you about assignments. For this week there is no assignment. I'll tell you when I'll announce it on the blackboard when our assignment will be due. Okay, then the other question was about, no, you don't need to. If you want to, you can, but you can do it, but I'll announce it in the announcement page whenever there will be an assignment for you to perform. So for this week there is no assignment, and I'll tell you about coming week. So Sahara asked a question about project portfolio. So this is project portfolio management. As a part of project portfolio management, organization group manage projects and programs as a portfolio of investments that contribute to the entire project success, and portfolio managers help their organization make wise investment decisions. It means, like, when you say you are managing project, it means you are only concerned about whether you are managing the project successfully or not, your project is going in the right direction or not. When you say you are doing project portfolio management, it means in your organization there are a number of projects which you have, and you, for example, your organization can go for 3 projects at a time, and you have to select which 3 projects your organization should go for. Like, you can opt for, there are 8 to 10 projects, you can have to select any 3 from that, because you have to deploy your organization resources to develop that, and you want to earn better investment, you have to want to have better return on investment. So the portfolio manager actually suggests or actually helps their organization to make decisions that from the 8 projects or from the 10 projects, which 3 projects are going to give better return on investment to the organization, which one of them will be good for organization to work on, with a group of people, with a group of resources available, and with a group of cost, or for example cost available, which projects the organization should select. So the portfolio managers, like as I said, the project portfolio management, we ask questions that, are we working on the right projects? Should we deploy our resources on these projects, or we should go for some other project? Are we investing in the right areas? Do we have the right resources to be competitive? It means, like, are we updated in terms of technology, or we should or are we not updated? We are using old technology, old methods. So to keep an organization updated, to have better ROI and to have better utilization of resources, project portfolio manager help the organization. And project manager is only concerned about his project, that either his project is going in the right direction or not. Okay? Okay, is it clear now? Okay, any other questions? Okay. Okay, I'm turning the microphone off. So I'm here. If you have any question, you can just type in the text panel and I'll answer you over there. Okay, and if you don't have any question, you can leave. Thank you very much.